So I literally was in a place where I was single, but still had relationship weight. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything else to do. If you're seeing this video right now, that means that I finally put on my big girl underwear and made this video. If you're not, that means I'm talking to myself. But no, in all seriousness, I'm just really happy to be able to really start this journey of just letting y'all know more about me. I make a lot of vlogs and shorts that don't really hear my voice, and I'm just glad to put a voice, a personality behind some of those videos, because it's just something I've been wanting to share for a very long time. I feel like I've always had kind of like the personality or just the need and want to connect with others through content creation. So I'm so happy and honored to be able to have the resources and opportunity to do so. So today I'm going to be talking about how to build discipline, the ups, the downs, the all arounds that I've experienced on this journey to becoming the best version of myself. And I hope that by the end of this video, you're going to be able to take away something that you can add to your routine to help yourself, become the better version of yourself. Or you can drop a tip, because I'm still learning each day. So this is exactly, just what I want to be able to do, is just talk about discipline and what it means to be disciplined. Discipline can be applied to multiple different areas of your life. It can be hard to be disciplined in every single area of your life. I feel like it is not in our human nature to discipline ourselves all the time in every single space. I mean, it comes with a process. So specifically, just so y'all can get a little bit of a backstory about me, in the area of fitness, I started working out and changed my life and my health journey for the better in May of 2023. That was not my decision. So here's a backstory. May 2023, I started to work out and I haven't stopped. It's December of 2024. And I'm gonna be honest, if it was up to me, I probably would have never got that membership or went to the gym if it had not been God ordained, and if he did not put his time and basically say yeet to all of the things that I wanted to do in my life. So Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 2023, me and my roommate, my line sister, my best friend, all of the above, we had a housewarming or apartment warming 6 months after moving in. We were finally settled, and it was a great event. I mean, all of our line sisters, friends, people from college came out. My boyfriend was there, his friends, everything. It was great. And on May 6th, I became single. I'm laughing, but that's how quick God switched us up. May 6th, ended up breaking up with my boyfriend, was single again. May 15th, not even 2 weeks later, I got laid off from my job. The job that was funding this apartment that we were celebrating. So I literally was in a place where I was single, but still had relationship weight. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything else to do. I spent that little money that they gave me because I just got paid. And then let's just backtrack. I went to work. They literally called us in and said, oh, we have a meeting. And I'm thinking normal routine, like we got a meeting today. They said, oh yeah, by the way, your whole department is being laid off. So we're gonna, you know how they do. We're gonna give you this stipend. You feel more than free to, apply here again. What was so crazy about this is that me and my roommate worked for the same company at the same time. So it was literally just so specific to our department that, all of us were let go. This didn't even come from our bosses because they had let them go the Friday before. So I literally was in a position where I was like, what do I do? this is my first time living out on my own outside of our college town. And that was what I was gonna get me through. Like, that's what I was depending on. That's why. But depending on a job instead of God. And I literally was like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? So at the time, just so happened, we lived right across the street from a Planet Fitness. I go over there and I signed up. I worked out every single day, maybe with the exception of Sundays. Maybe Sundays too. Like, I was in the gym, like, trying to keep my mind off of the fact that I had just broke up with my boyfriend. At the time, my best friend, which I ended up rekindling with after 2 years of not talking. We're gonna get to that story later. We rekindled, but at that time though, we weren't talking. It was just like, what? I'm by myself. So I ended up getting in the gym. I changed that area of my life. Like, I literally had nothing else to do. I would work, apply for jobs and stuff, but being in the gym was really my day to day. Then to be honest, I'm not praying. I'm mad. I'm like, God, what are you doing? So I do that, and that really became my everyday. But that don't mean I changed eating. I was still eating what I wanted because I'm pretty sure I was a functioning depressed person at that time. I couldn't understand why God, I felt like at that time, had forsaken me. And why he left me in a position where I did not have income. I just took the risk and the leap of faith to move to Houston, Texas, after being from a small town, going to college in a small town. And I'm like, I know you ain't gonna let me have real big girl bills without a big girl job. And I didn't even have that comfort there of having a boyfriend. That brings me to just where I am now, and just some different things that have changed in my life since then. So ended up getting a job in August of that year, but the commute was insane. And honestly, I feel like that job wasn't from God, but I jumped on the first chance of a job that I could get because it seemed like it was in alignment with what my degree was in, because I was getting my master's during this time in higher education. So when I got a job at one of the universities down here in Houston, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely jumping on that. I didn't care or recognize that this was the lowest paying job I had had since literally working on campus, because I had did a few different jobs since graduating. But I didn't care about the pay cut, but I literally only got paid once a month. I was getting paid the lowest I ever got paid. My commute was crazy. So that depression just ended up keep going. But the way that I stay disciplined with going to the gym is through gaining discipline in another area of my life. God had me in such a still spot, in such a quiet spot of like, I have to depend on you. I'm out here in this city. I don't know anyone for real except like my roommates and my friends that I have like a group of friends. They all were out here. We all kind of made that transition from our college town to Houston. So we did depend on each other in that area. But like on those days when you're late at night by yourself, you're left with your thoughts. So I really leaned in and I really kept asking God, like, what do you want me to do? Because I knew that I had made some decisions that he didn't want for me. I just thought that they were best available. So I ended up just starting to read my word a little bit more. And it was like through that discipline, through that prayer, I finally did find my church home that I have now, which I'll also, like I said, some of this stuff I'm going to get into a little bit more in detail later. But it's helped me tremendously with recognizing how I can not only transform into a better version of myself, but into the version that God sees me as and has planned for me. And yeah, that is just something that comes through discipline. So I would say, I just want to go over 3 different ways that you can build discipline. First, you're going to want to give yourself grace. And when I say give yourself grace, that doesn't mean, just every meal is a cheat meal. You're having 5 a week, baby. That's not going to work. But finding an area that you want to focus on, whether it's for a month or for 2 months or even for a week, and say, in this area of my life this week, this month, I'm going to discipline myself. You gotta write that down. You gotta make that plain. What does this look like for me? And don't overindulge yourself or overwhelm yourself with trying to discipline yourself in 5 different areas at one time, because that's the easiest way to get burnt out and not achieve the goals that you're trying to do. Like, this is something I'm preaching to myself when I say, I have literally tried to say, I'm going to be off of social media. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to eat nothing that I want to eat. I'm not going to eat no sweets. I'm not going to go out. Like, baby, you done did that for the last 2 years of your life. It's going to be hard to cut all of that out at once. So, like, for me, for instance, I might say, okay, I'm not going to be on social media this week. I get back on there on the weekend. And then I also will meal prep. So I know I'm going to for sure eat this, this healthy meal for the week. So maybe like 1 or 2 areas. And then see how that works for you. If it doesn't work for you and you find yourself to be falling short or not being able to be disciplined, then you need to know that, take that down. You need to write down, how does that make you feel? And what kind of led to you not, upholding what you wanted to uphold? Got my tea. But yeah, so, and then like just really saying how you felt when you didn't do it. Whenever you do achieve it, how do you feel? Do you feel like happy? Do you feel like this feels accomplished to you? Write that down too. Compare those feelings so that the next time that it comes up where you're feeling like you don't want to get up or you don't want to do that, that you'll think about how you felt when you didn't do it last time, or how you felt when you did do it. Right now, a specific area I'm trying to become disciplined in is waking up at 5 a.m. I go to work at 7 a.m. Yeah, love this schedule, by the way. Ooh, the Lord bless with it. But I had to tell myself, like, okay, I want to get up. I feel so accomplished when I get off of work and I don't have to do anything. I can just lay down. I can warm up my dinner already made on Sunday, whatever the case may be. On days that I don't do it, I'm like, I gotta go to the gym. It gets back at 5:30. I got a 20-minute commute. And I'm just like, I hate feeling like I just am in traffic too long down here. So that's what, those feelings and those things that I, face when I don't stick to my plan or to my discipline, I don't discipline myself, is what drives me to continue to reach that goal to, get up at 5 a.m. Second thing, let God guide you through your discipline. Let him guide you. Let him guide you. And the reason I say that is because it sounds really easy, but it's not. And I'm going to tell you that firsthand. It is not easy. Whenever they telling you all the time, just let the Lord use you. Just let him guide you. Just follow his path into... Sometimes God will guide you right into the wilderness. And I'm laughing, but for real, he will take you right there into the wilderness. The wilderness has so many jewels, so many things that can come out of it, but it can be challenging. You can be in an area where kind of God is calling you to isolation, or he's just calling you to a place to where you're going to build this discipline, but you won't see the reward for being in the wilderness, building this discipline until way later, until it's later down in your life. Sometimes in some areas where I do have discipline, I'm like, why do I do this? Like, for instance, this is, and this is not a situation where I feel this way, but like, for instance, my church has 6 a.m. prayer on Tuesday. I'm like, sometimes I was getting on prayer and I was half asleep. I ain't gonna care. So now I'm like, okay, no, I need to be alert. I need to sit up because I got to think about, with this person who's praying, when I'm listening to this, what can I get out of this? And right now, it may not seem like I might not be getting any, anything extra. I don't get a tap on the shoulder or a cookie for getting on the 6 a.m. prayer, but later that prayer can dwell with me through the whole day. That prayer can connect to a prayer that I personally had and be what reveals the promise that God has for me. So it's just like that type of thing. It can all connect, and you may not see it right now. You might not see that promise that God has for you, but later you could be like, I remember when I notated on that prayer call what they said, and now look at it coming back to me full circle. Or even in the health realm, why am I getting up and working out at 5 a.m.? Why am I not eating that crumble cookie every time? Like, why am I not going to Wingstop? And for me personally, it's just like I really, 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 really am determined to get the bottom part of my belly gone. Despite people saying that it's like a hereditary trait and that we're built like that and different things. No, I know that I can overcome something. I just need to be disciplined in certain areas. I need to figure out some things first before I can remove that area. So it's just like thinking about that. That's a great example because it may take me years to get rid of the bottom part of my belly, that belly fat, because that is a stubborn area. But do you think that I'm not gonna think about what a snatched waist looks like every single time I'm getting up at 5 a.m.? I am. Like, that's what I have, an image of myself. I want to be skinny. I have my own personal goals, but I do have an image in my head of how I want to look. Like, no. And I'm not going to, compromise on that just because of what someone else tells me I can't do. And that's going to be definitely a key in your discipline as well. Block out that noise. If you want something achieved, do that by any means necessary. And jot down the process so that you can have something to relate back to. The third thing I would just say is just to feel all the feelings. You will sometimes not be as disciplined as you want. You will have days that you don't want to get out of bed. You're not going to go to the gym. You might be crying in the bed. You might not be doing that. You might just literally want to sit there and watch TV. I don't know. But it will be moments that you will not achieve the goals that you set for yourself. But discipline comes over time. It's kind of like what they say, it gets better with time. Discipline is something that once you find your groove, it's really a lot harder to undo it than to do it. To create a pattern of discipline is challenging, but once you are in that routine, it almost becomes like muscle memory. Sometimes I get out for work, and even when I try to lay down, I'm like, it wouldn't hurt to go lift. It wouldn't hurt to go run. It wouldn't hurt to go do something. Like, because my mind is already, like, used to that. My body is used to that. So whenever you get to that point, I know a lot of people say it takes 21 days to build a habit. I personally think it takes about 90 days. But either way, I think the more you're consistent, and then also document it. Document that. You never know who you're helping for them to see you in the gym. You never know who you reminded to get up and go to the gym. You never know who you reminded to drink some kombucha or some Olipop or do something to help their gut health. You never know who you reminded to, to read their word today, or to pray today, or to even watch a video of someone praying for them. Like, you never know how you posting something or you documenting something can open up the door and be the reminder that someone needs to completely shift their life back to where they want it to be. We're all human, and we're all just in here trying to help each other get closer to where we want to be. So it's like, think about when you're disciplining yourself or when you're doing something like this and documenting it, that you're not only helping yourself, but you could be helping multiple people, and that could turn and lead to them documenting and them changing things. Now they're impacting a bunch of other people. Now one post that you made or two posts that you made showing you consistently in the gym has led to a whole group of people who are just trying. And then I think that something really cool to think about too is just that it is December 2024. This is a great time to start thinking about any New Year resolutions and start to act on them now. Do not wait till January. I know people say that all the time, but for real, everybody gonna be in that gym from January to March. Everybody is going to be in that gym from January to March. Start now. Get familiar with them machines. Get familiar with how you want to work out and what regimen in the gym works for you before the first. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all. Like I told y'all, I've been working out since May of 2023. It never fails. This will be my second year, and I learned last year that they didn't play when it came to that New Year's resolution. 2 months. January, February, March. People was in that gym. And I would just say things to look out for in short. What time, if you're specifically wanting to change, things to look out if you're specifically wanting to change your gut health and just like your overall health. What time you eat is really important. The amount of protein, the amount of carbs is really important. Things to look out for. If you eat and then go right to sleep, that's something to look out for. Yeah, I think that the amount of water intake that you have is something to look out for. Any supplements, vitamins, things like that will be helpful. I'm still working on that area. I have not got that down. I take vitamins, but like not as many supplements and things that I could help with. Another thing that you're going to look out for is like, you got to plan ahead, because there's certain things, especially like for women, I know with different times of the month and things like that, we have things that impact like our mood and our cravings and stuff like that. Plan ahead. You already know that you're going to want some ice cream next week. Like, I mean, just go get the 0 sugar ice cream, and it still, I feel like if you have a craving, you know you're going to want that. It's probably going to nag at you. It'll be great if you don't eat it at all, but if you know that you're going to eat it, find a healthier alternative that will fix that craving, and then you'll be good. So definitely plan ahead. And yeah. And then lastly, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. This is my first video. I definitely am so happy to just be able to talk to y'all, like I said, talk about stuff like this, but also just as we continue on, you'll get to know me a little bit more. Just to kind of show too, this was me before when I first started working out in May. This was me now whenever, as of December 2024. Form is a lot better in the gym. I work out in the mornings most days. And I have different things that I'm still working on, but I'm just happy to be able to share these little tidbits because a lot of people are asking me, and I want to be able to connect with y'all in that way. So stay tuned, like, follow, subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. Those are my main. But yeah, I love y'all. Have a great Sunday.